Thanks, Jonathan. No pressure then to answer that little question in 10 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to give you a quick whistle-stop tour. Over 50 years ago, many of you know, Robert Kennedy very famously warned us that GDP measures everything except that which makes life worthwhile. Yet this is still our primary compass, our measure of success as a nation and as a society. Are we consuming more this year than last year and more next year than this? That's it, folks. This GDP figure that we are growing counts wars, it counts traffic jams, it counts oil slicks, rainforest depletion, and these kinds of landfill sites you can see here, and so much more. These are all in this measure of progress. But if you judge the success of our communities by this, you remove all sense of the value of things like childcare, of green spaces, of cooperation, of arts and local markets, human dignity and belonging, clean energy and diversity. None of those shows up. If growing consumption is our aim, then happiness and satisfaction with what we have are our enemies. We are literally drip-fed enough unhappiness to keep us wanting more stuff. You'll be happy when you're a bit more beautiful, when you have a bigger, faster car, a better phone, or a must-have lifestyle. One of my favorite phrases, that must-have one you see everywhere. In essence, in our current economic system, your country needs you to shop. Apart from depleting happiness and the planet's resources, this mindset seeps into all aspects of our life. Healthcare becomes all about efficiency savings. Education is to create job readiness. Housing is merely an investment for profit. Food is an industry. The care system and culture are costs to be managed or cut. Business is focused merely on driving greater productivity and profit for shareholders. As the brilliant Kate Raworth, one of my favorite economists, put it, we have an economy that seeks to grow whether or not we thrive, and we need an economy where we thrive whether or not it grows. Happy City and many of our partners here today are daring to disrupt this image of economics. If we wait for a global economic accord, we will wait a very long time. But a worldwide movement is building. We, like so many others in this room, seek to make this change at a local level, but at a national and an international scale. At Happy City, we've developed new ways of measuring progress and assessing value where we are, in the towns, in the cities, the rural communities, right across the UK and increasingly beyond. One where the well-being of people and planet is the new goal and the new compass. Our work tries to answer the fundamental question, are we creating the conditions for people to thrive, and are we doing so equitably and sustainably so future generations can also thrive? In a truly well-being economy, this very different shared goal and measure against which decisions are made shifts everything. Health services are focused on growing healthy, balanced lives, preventing rather than merely dealing with illness. Education becomes about developing strong, resilient young people ready to use their talents in the world. Safe, affordable and planet-friendly housing and transport are not part of a casino economy, but part of a civilized society that recognizes fundamental human rights and needs. Cultural and community facilities and the care of our young and our old are valuable investments in long-term prosperity. Business and the economy are focused on secure, meaningful employment and provision of life-sustaining goods, of course, fundamental aspects of well-being. But is this just a pipe dream? How do we make this shift? Can we really just put a new goal at the heart of society and demand that our politicians, our businesses, our leaders are judged by how they grow the conditions for us to thrive, rather than just how fat our wallets are? Happy City has worked for the last decade on developing rigorous but very practical solutions to this exact challenge. How can we measure, understand and improve both the conditions for people and the planet to thrive and people's experience lives, their happiness, as Jonathan rightly put it? Our Thriving Places Index, which is summarised up here, is published already for all local authority areas right across England and Wales annually. It's shining a light on what's working and what's not working when it comes to creating equitable and sustainable conditions for well-being. We also have our Happiness Pulse measure, which measures the reality of people's real lives, in the streets, in the schools, in the communities, the businesses, and the corridors of power. How can we measure, understand and improve people's sense of belonging and trust, their connection to each other and their community, their vitality, their engagement, their sense of worth, and so much more? These measures, when you put them together, work at any level, right from the individual to workplaces to communities to large geographical areas. And they're now already being used at scale to start to value what matters to people's lives and focus energy and resources where it's needed most. We're increasingly working in partnership with local governments, businesses, public and voluntary sectors right across the UK and advising those around the world in how to embed this new compass in how things work, make it that fundamental, and how policy and decisions are made. A real wellbeing strategy that is not just about reducing GP visits or practicing yoga on the office away day, but how do I use a new compass for my life, for my community project, for my business, for our town, for our city, so that everything we do is tested on whether it delivers on growing wellbeing for people now and for generations to come. Joseph Stiglitz stated that if we measure the wrong things, we strive for the wrong things. And in case you don't know who he was chief economist at the World Bank, so no kind of fluffy lightweight that many people think of in the world of happiness economics. But he said if we measure the wrong things, we strive for the wrong things. And we at Happy City and many others in this room believe we have done that for far, far too long. So we are making a deeply practical way to measure the right things so we can understand them, we can strive for them, and we can improve them right now, where we are. And by doing so, we're really trying to build momentum for change from the local to the global. For this reason, we're incredibly excited to be co-hosting this gathering today to support this kind of growing momentum. There's a real feeling at the moment of movement building. I've been having conversations with people from every corner of the globe in the last couple of months, and there's a real momentum building for this to be the new way the economy works. And it's only by coming together, and there are many people in this room working very hard to do that, only by coming together and bringing together those local initiatives with some of those levers of power that we have the chance to do this. So I'm hoping by the end of today that we'll get even more of a sense of that momentum and we can turn it into a bit of a tidal wave if we can. Thank you very much.